Tessa, you've done so well with Instagram. What was the breakthrough in making a business out of Instagram for you?
So I think the breakthrough was definitely the followers. Companies, restaurants, they look at your following. If you have a certain amount of following, they put you at that top tier of let's work together. So I think when I really hit that breakthrough, probably about when I was at 100,000 followers, that's when everyone was coming to me and wanting to work with me.
So the advertisers called you when you hit 100,000?
Yes. So advertisers have, you could say, a checklist. What do you post? How do you engage with your followers? They have a whole criteria that's how they choose who they want to work with. So I felt that when I hit that 100,000 people, that's when I started getting called.
Were you expecting them to call you, or was that a surprise?
Definitely a surprise. I started my Instagram as a fun little side hustle, you could say. So when I first got that first email of, hey, Tessa, we'd love to work with you on a paid opportunity, I think I almost, like fainted. And then it just kind of, ever since then, it has gone up.
How long ago was that?
So I started my Instagram in August 2014. I probably hit 100,000, maybe close to a year later. And then ever since then, I've been working with a bunch of paid opportunities with different agencies.
How did you then, who've had various jobs in the media industry, but not like this exactly, how did you become a businesswoman? Did you know how much to charge in that first call?
So there's really no set charge. A lot of different places have their own rates, and they have their own rate cards that, this is what we want to pay you for this, etc. At first, I kind of took it, and it was exciting, and it was, we're going to pay you this, and I was like, great, amazing. As I began to work with other people and different various companies, maybe instead of working with a cookie company that wasn't as known to working with, for example, a cookie company that's very known, I knew I could possibly charge a little bit more, and they, knock on wood, never had come back to me and said no.
You learn fast, don't you?
Yes.
And what is it, Tessa, that these food companies pay you to do for them?
So a lot of the time, it's about a new product. So for example, a cookie company will come to me and say, hey, we're coming out with a new cookie with a new filling. We'd love for you to post on your Instagram. Please let us know what you think. So I then, backtrack and look at my Instagram. Does my Instagram fit this product? So my Instagram is very desserts, food porn, as they say. So I will, depending on the product, know if that will fit my theme and my followers will like that. And then we move forward and they let me know what they're looking for. I let them know what I can do content-wise, and then I end up creating the content for them and ends up posting on my social channels.
When you have the discussion, I'll let you know what I can do content-wise once you've cleared those first hurdles. What do you tell them you can do content-wise? How's that go?
So I say, first I ask them what they're looking for. If they're, they can come back to me and say, we're pretty much open. What is your niche? I would say, I'm very into photography, of course, but I'm also into video. So I can create video, boomerangs, which are 3-second time lapses, also photography as well. So I have a lot of variety with what I post. So I kind of give them, this is what I can do, and I'm open to other suggestions, and then they come back and we figure it out.
So the discussion about what you can do is pretty much format related and technology related.
Yeah.
Then do you get into a discussion about the cookie?
Yes.
How does that go?
So if, for example, the cookie is coming out in a certain date range, or they want me to highlight something specifically about the cookie, I will then create a caption, which is the certain amount of characters. On Instagram, there is no limit, but I tend to not do so long because people don't want to read that. So I kind of create the caption, which highlights what I'm photographing, and then we kind of converse and they approve the post based on if it fits what their mission is.
This is so interesting. What do you find is the trick to writing a good caption, Tessa?
So I think it's really catching your viewers' eyes. You can look at a photo of a donut ice cream sandwich and instantly, become drawn in, but it's really about what the words are. So if they have access to this cookie, for example, I might say, coming soon, September 15th, this new cookie is coming out. Or OMG, look at this cookie breaking with the filling coming out. So it's kind of like catching them with the photo, but also getting them to read the caption, because that's really what the advertisers want.
Now, do you test the cookie yourself or the product yourself first? How does that work?
So sometimes they'll just send me the content. So they may send me the photo that's already been taken, which then I'll post. I personally like to try out the product because, as well as posting it, I also like to share with my viewers my view on it. So for example, I did something with a new milkshake that was coming out, and I went to the place, ordered the milkshake like a normal person, ended up taking a video of myself slurping it, giving my views, and then I had posted for them. So I find that my followers really love to actually see me in real life, as they say.
That really worked, I bet, right?
Yeah. So they are then engaged to then go look at my post. So if I would say, OMG, this mint chocolate chip cookie milkshake was so great, check out my post, and then that leads them to the sponsored post, which is what the advertiser's goal is.
So you had this great idea to go to the place and videotape yourself trying it. Wonderful the first time you do that. How many times can you do that, and then what other ideas can you come up with? Because you can't do that for every post, right?
Correct.
That's
so
the trick.
Then it would become a little repetitive, and
Right.
people are not going to want to see me
Right.
slurping the same milkshake. I think I've done things where I'm videoing the milkshake being made. So I'll ask, hey, can I come behind the counter, do a little filming? And then my followers will then see, all right, she's not slurping it, but they're actually seeing it being made. So they're seeing the milk, the crushed up cookie, the ice cream. They're seeing how it's developed. So that's another way that I'll catch my viewers.
So you went to this milkshake shop or whatever it was. How many different posts might you gotten out of your half hour or hour there?
So depending on if this was a paid opportunity, for example, and they said, hey, you know, we just want one post, I will probably take about 20 shots. As well as doing that, I also like to take video and, you know, cutesy little photos just to put on my Instagram story. I'm very, very into Instagram story these days. It's very IRL, which is in real life. Oh, IRL, yeah. And it's basically sharing what I'm doing in that moment. So I could take a lot of content in those 30 minutes and then pick and choose what I want to post.
For those of us, Tessa, who don't know, does what you post on this cookie that a company came to you to post about, does that go on your Instagram feed or their Instagram feed or both?
So it goes on my Instagram
Right.
feed 100% of the time.
That's really what they want.
Yeah. And they will then say, we will repost this on our account as well, essentially giving you the credit so that if some followers that I don't have go to their page, they'll essentially follow me. But 100% it goes on my page.
Were you surprised at how fast this became a business for you?
Yes.
Well, you were surprised it actually became a business at all, you said,
Yes.
right?
So when I started it, I kind of just was like, oh, I'm going to start an Instagram, not tell anyone it's me, kind of do it secretive, repost people. But as I kept getting all of these, you know, features, I've been featured in a lot of different articles and magazines, so it kind of hit me that this isn't just a little side hobby anymore. So it kind of grew. I've been doing it for almost 4 years, and I have over 500,000 followers, so it's kind of like a whirlwind, but I never thought it would get to where it is.
What % higher are you now in what you charged from that first offer? Or say what you charge, it's up to you.
So, for example, when I first got a collaboration, they had given me the rate that I was going to charge them. So say, for example, it was $1,000.
Okay.
Now, 4 years later, depending on the company and depending on their budget, I could ask for double that.
Right, double.
Or even more, depending on how much, you know, budget they have to work with.
Right. We used to hear at our business breakfasts so much talk about Facebook. And before that, it was LinkedIn. And then it was Facebook groups. What made Instagram so much more popular, apparently, than even these now?
So I think with Instagram, it really is a platform that you can 100% connect with people. On Facebook, for me, when I first got to Facebook, it was about, you know, going to a high school event, posting photos, not really connecting with people, just having people see what you're posting. With Instagram, you go on Instagram and you right then and there know what that person is eating or know what that person ate. So it's more of a connection.
Is it more real time, are you saying?
Yes, more real time.
But when I look at your Instagram, I see static, not real time photos of all these great desserts.
So some of them are things that I have eaten in the past or that I'm reposting from people. So for example, if you were to post a burger that I thought fit my Instagram, I would repost you.
Right.
So a lot of it is static images, but I connect with people mostly through the posts that I'm posting in that moment of what I'm eating and also on my story.
And yes, and now tell us about Instagram stories, which we hear more about most recently. What's the deal there?
So I love Instagram story. I think it's great that you can go on Instagram and you can click on my icon and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. So for example, after this, if I post that I was here, people know exactly where I was and they get excited. I've had different polls on my Instagram story where you can ask your followers direct questions. So would you rather see more dessert or more pizza? And they can go in and take their vote, and then that makes me see what they want. So it's a direct conversation that I have with people, and I tend to find that people, especially my followers, love to see what I'm doing. You know, if it's with food or if it's, you know, running 20 miles, they love to just follow me in my adventures.
We read and hear that the food industry is desperate, the established food industry, to reach new customers. How should they be adapting? What do you suggest?
So I get this question a lot.
Yeah.
I've been reached out to restaurants that say, hey, we have 500 followers. We really want to grow our following. How do we do that? So probably a good percentage don't have social media. So nowadays, for me, if I want to find the best chicken parm in New York City, I go to Instagram. I'm not Googling because Google, you know, a bunch of people can write things, but if I go on Instagram and I, you know, look up Italian food NYC, that hashtag would bring me to people that have used that. So it's really kind of researching Instagram like you would use Google. But I think social media, if you want to be successful in today's time, you need to do social media. Even if it's getting a social media account, posting your special of the night, if it's linguine pasta with clam sauce, hey, tonight's special, and that's how you bring people in. So people that now follow you, oh, I was craving linguine with clam sauce, I saw, you know, X, Y, and Z has that tonight, I'm gonna go. So it's really kind of taking your business to the next step and really showing people what you can offer them. And I think social media now, I live by it, I breathe it. That's what you really need, I think, to be successful, especially in the restaurant business.
So it's even surpassing Google search and Yelp.
I'm not really on Yelp. I'm, as I said, it's like I'm an Instagram guru. So when I want to find a new food trend, or if my friends are like, hey, you know, we're going to Martha's Vineyard, do you know any ice cream spots? I go to Instagram, I type in Martha's Vineyard, and I find my ice cream spot.
And now with these companies calling to ask you advice, you can become a consultant.
Yeah.
You can charge them even more. Have you started doing that?
So for one Instagram account, they had reached out to me to run their Instagram. It was for a events coordination, so it wasn't so much food. It was this events company that wanted me to go to certain parties and post on behalf of, you know, what the photography was, what the food was, decorations. So I ran that account for a little bit of time and basically took on the social media coordinator for that company and posted for them, advertising for them.
Right. And you can charge them a full consulting fee or hire somebody else to do the work.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how this has worked out for you. Look at you smiling.
It's great.
Look,
I love it.